A wedding. We heard in Father Higgins's previous meditation that there was a wedding that took place between humanity and divinity. That's actually when Jesus became flesh. But there's another wedding we want to talk about, the wedding feast at Cana. It's the first miracle recorded in St. John's Gospel. And it's very important for understanding the role of Mary in salvation history. So in the weddings in Jesus' day, they weren't like our weddings. They lasted for several days. And if a guest came to a wedding and the people putting it on ran out of things, it would have been embarrassing for the people putting the wedding on. And so at this wedding, they had a problem. They ran out of wine. And so the Blessed Mother saw this, and she went to her son and said, "Son, they've run out of wine." And Jesus has an answer that might strike us as a little strong. He says, "Woman, what does that have to do with me? My time has not yet come." But some scripture scholars tell us that the maiming of Mary as woman is putting us back in the garden with Eve. You see, the first woman decided not to do what God had told her, just like the first man decided not to do what God had told him when they took of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and original sin and tragedy entered creation. Jesus was the new Adam who always did what his father asked of him. Mary was the new Eve who always did what her father asked of her. They always had a yes to God. And so at that moment, Mary looks at the servants and she says, "Do what he tells you." She's saying that to us. Do whatever Jesus tells you. If you want to be a saint, if you want to go to heaven, just do what Jesus tells us. His words are right there in the gospel. We don't have to go beyond that. Just do what Jesus tells us, and we're going to get to heaven, and we'll become a saint, just as the servants did, and they witnessed the first miracle, the water turned to wine. Ever since then, Mary has been interceding on behalf of us, going to Jesus and asking for petitions on the behalf of others like us who need something, and Jesus is always happy to oblige and do what his mother asks of him.